But there's a bigger issue here, because the question that African Americans in particular are asking now is this going to be a moment, a movement, or a lifestyle? And there are people in local communities all over the country that have been charged up by this, but there are young men dying every day in communities and nobody's saying a mumbling word. And so the question is, can those folks begin to mobilize where they are? Not just talking, not just having rallies, not just having marches, but addressing those issues and challenging folks. That's the real question, and I think that's what people are beginning to ask right now. Is this just going to be another Troy Davis, where people are mobilizing, they've got their Troy Davis T-shirts on, Troy Davis is put to death, and then there are people that are still on death row that are presumably innocent that nobody's talking about? That's the real question.
Drew, there's a very simple phrase that I've been using for the last several years, and that is, will this be a moment or lead to a movement? And that is, the moment means once it's over, then folks just simply go back to business as usual. The reason we remember Emmett Till, because that wasn't a moment. That was 1955. That sparked the civil rights movement. 54 was the Brown versus Board of Education. 55 was Emmett Till. Montgomery was 56. Then, of course, you had Voting Rights Act and Civil Rights Act. You had all of that take place, kick-started by Emmett Till. So the question will be, and not just African Americans, will Americans care about social justice and begin to say equality under the law?
Yeah.
That's the real key.
Okay, and I'm glad to hear that. And again, I think this is about bringing people together, not rupturing and creating any ruptures. Trayvon's parents were actually alongside of Al Sharpton and spoke to the media today about how their son is being portrayed in the media and their concerns about that. Take a look.
Even in death, they are still disrespecting my son. And I feel that that's a shame. They will try to make your son a junkie, a thief, a assaulter, and everything else before this is over.
They've killed my son, and now they're trying to kill his reputation.
Aaron, you mentioned blaming the victim. Is that what's going on here? We're making the victim's reputation, putting his reputation on trial rather than staying focused on the issues. Karen.
Once you're in the face of the media, everybody else is going to start looking into your background. It's fair. Once we heard this boy was suspended from school, it's fair to say, why was he suspended? And even if it was for the marijuana, the question was, they had his body for 3 days. They did an autopsy on him. Did they find marijuana in his system? That would be the only reason why the reason behind his suspension is relevant.
Even I, Karen, as an ichologist, I would have to take it. Marijuana does not make people more violent. If anything, it goes the other way, and I don't think it has anything to bear as an expert. But let me know.
And Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew, I don't agree with that, though.
And here's the problem. They did not. Here's the problem. They did not test George Zimmerman. He wasn't drug tested or
they didn't
alcohol
test it.
tested.
Yes, I agree. That could be an issue.
Don't you think you would run a test on the shooter?